Good morning, class. Today's topic is residential status. Residential status is very important from the income tax point of view. Under Income Tax Act, tax is levied on the basis of residential status of assessee. So, for the purpose of calculation of tax, we must know what is the residential status of a assessee in an previous year. As we know that previous year's income is taxable in the assessment year. So before calculating your tax liability, you must know what is the residential status in previous year. So first of all, we'll start with the residential status of individual. An individual is enjoying two types of residential status. First is resident and second is non-resident. Resident can be further categorized into two categories: ordinary resident and not ordinary resident. So first of all, when a person is said to be a resident, first is if an individual satisfy at least one out of these two conditions, then we can say that the person is resident in India. First condition is he is in India in the previous year for a period of 182 days or more, means he should have stay for a period of 182 days in a previous year. Second condition is he is in India for a period of 60 days or more during the previous year and 365 days or more during 4 years immediately preceding the previous year. Means in current previous year he should have stay for 60 days, and leaving the current previous year, in 4 previous years he should have stay for a period of 365 days in 4 previous years. Now next is what are the exceptions to the second conditions. Generally under the second conditions there are 60 days in current previous years and 365 days in 4 previous years immediately preceding the current previous year. But there are certain situations when exceptions are applicable. First is if an Indian citizen leaves India during any previous year for the purpose of employment outside India, then the stay of 60 days is extended to 182 days in that case. Means if any person who is of Indian citizen going outside India for working for any employment purpose, then he should have stay for 182 days in previous year. Second is Indian citizen who leaves India during the previous year as a member of crew of Indian ship. If a person is working as a crew member of ship, then also the limit of 60 days and current previous year will be extended to 182 days. And third exception is Indian citizen or person of Indian origin who comes on a visit to India during the previous year. If any person visits India during previous year, then also the condition of 60 days will be extended to 182 days. If a person satisfy any one out of these two conditions, then the person is said to be a resident in India. Now resident categorized into two parts: resident and ordinary resident and not ordinary resident. First of all, he have to satisfy one condition out of the two, then he is a resident in India. Then now for becoming an ordinary resident in India, he should have to fulfill the supplementary conditions. And that supplementary condition first is he has been a resident in India for at least 2 out of the 10 previous years immediately preceding the previous year. Means he should be in India for 2 previous years out of the 10 previous years immediately preceding the current previous year. Second is he has been in India for a period of 730 days or more during 7 years immediately preceding the relevant previous year. Means skipping the current year, and he should have to check the 7 previous years, and he should have stayed 730 days in 7 previous years. If he satisfy both the conditions simultaneously, then we can say that a person is said to be a resident and ordinary resident in India. Next is resident and not ordinary resident under section 6 subsection 6. If a person satisfy only the main condition but doesn't satisfy the additional conditions or the supplementary conditions, then the person is said to be a non-resident in India. Next is non-resident. If individual doesn't satisfy any of the basic conditions or any supplementary conditions, then the person is said to be a non-resident in India under section 6 subsection 1. That is all about the residential status of individual. Now next is residential status of HUF. HUF is Hindu undivided family, and the residential status of Hindu undivided family depends on the Karta. Karta is known as the head of the family, and we have to check the residential status of HUF on the basis of stay of the Karta or on the basis of control and management of affairs of Hindu undivided family under section 6 subsection 2. Hindu undivided family enjoys two type of status. First one is resident and second is non-resident. And Hindu undivided family is said to be a resident in India if the control and management of affairs is wholly or partially situated in India. If the control and management of affairs are in India, then simply we can say that HUF is resident in India. If the control and management of affairs of Hindu undivided family is outside India, then the HUF is said to be non-resident in India. Next is residential status of firm and association of persons AOP under section 6 subsection 2. Like Hindu undivided family, partnership, firm and association of persons are said to be resident if control and management of their affairs are wholly or partially situated in India during the previous year. And in the reverse, if the control and management of affairs of any partnership, firm and association of persons is situated outside India, then the firm and association of persons is said to be non-resident in India. Next is company, that is covered under section 6 subsection 3. Companies are of two types. First one is Indian company and second is foreign company. Indian company is cleared from the name that any company which is registered in India. If any company is registered in India, then the company is always a resident in India. Second is foreign company. Foreign company enjoys the two type of residential status. First is resident and second is non-resident. Foreign company is resident in India if during the previous year control and management of affairs is situated wholly in India. Next, foreign company is non-resident in India if during the previous year control and management of affairs wholly or partially situated outside India. Simply for calculating the residential status of company, we have to check the control and management of affairs status. If the control and management of affairs is wholly in India, then simply the company is resident in India. And if the control and management of affairs is outside India, then the company is non-resident in India. Next is residential status of every other person. In calculating the residential status of every other person, same provisions are applicable. For calculating the status, we have to check the control and management of affairs. Every other person is said to be a resident in India if the control and management of affairs are wholly or partially situated in India during the previous year. However, the control and management of affairs are situated outside India, then every other person is said to be a non resident in India.